a minute, because I had the whole intro thing that like it's really funny too, because if people are watching this later, they're like, hey, what's going on? And then we're like, oh. Like that. Okay, so once a week, at the very least, and we do have some other actual ChirpCast interviews coming up. One with Pummel, and a couple different ones I'm really excited about. So that's gonna be good. But once a week, Jimmy and I get together for a weekly update in the EOSIO community. Not a whole lot of headlines this week, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but BTC's like roar like that. So that's a technical term. It's not a lot, it sort of swallows the news whenever that happens, and that's entirely fun. But we had Anders from AnyObservation booked anyway, so we're just going to talk about NFTs. I am now deeply fascinated and curious about my estimation. I think it's sort of common with the 4-year pattern of Bitcoin, is that Q3-ish next year is probably when we can expect a Bitcoin height, plus or minus 3 months, 6 months. We don't know, obviously. But what is the NFT market going to look like then? And then I'm thinking, like, maybe I should drop an album. Just plop it right into the middle of that craziness. Because, behind the scenes. So we really want to talk about Uplift.Art's drop. Anders has been working with us on that like crazy. But I definitely am curious about hearing about all the other projects that you've been looking into, Anders. Behind the scenes, and Blue and I have been cranking out more music like crazy. And it's that we can get into that whole stuff anyway. But Anders, how the hell are you? How are you doing? What the hell is this AnyObservation channel thing? Like, for people that have never heard of you before, what's going on and how are you doing?
Yeah, okay, let's see where I should start today. First off, I'm doing good today. I have a lot of things to do. My backlog is just growing and growing, and I think this is a great problem.
Oh, yeah.
I keep having a lot of things to do. Let's get a short backstory. I work for Southwest Eden, which is a block producer on a lot of different chains. We started the first community testnet on EOS, the superhero testnet. We are EOS Sweden on that chain, and then we have on Wax, we have on FIO, on Proton, on Boss, a lot of different chains we run. For a while, we had the only full history open API on EOS, and we keep running APIs for everything. And my work has been a lot of the sys administration, but also I'm doing a lot of community work, and I felt like I was answering the same questions over and over again. So I started a YouTube channel to respond in video format for the questions, so I could share them to people, and people could use my responses and help other people onboard them, especially for Wax, because there's a lot of thanks to the Wax wallet, the new cloud wallet, it's easy to onboard, and you need a lot of information, and then you need to digest that in a simple way. And most content is made by tech people for tech people, not really for regular users. So that's what I want to do. So this is the AnyObservation channel, and it's pretty much anything that is interesting for me right now, which means it's a lot of NFT content because it's so exciting.
It is. There's tons of stuff going on. Man, I didn't know that you were in all that other stuff as well. So thank you very much for that. With the community work, as far as like making videos or making content, so you don't have to answer questions 8 million times. I completely and totally understand that. But I mean, I feel like your channel has gone from, there's definitely a lot of that. There's explainer videos. There's really high quality content. But I feel like you're becoming a community, like a central node for NFTs generally, right? I mean, obviously you started to do some work with us at Uplift, but it's clear that you're getting into all sorts of crazy stuff. Like how is that transition going?
Yeah, that's for sure. I guess like the content for the last 2 months, 3 months is probably more news related in the NFT space. I have done a lot of interviews with people, get an update on what they are doing with, like Tobin from the I think he's the CEO of Tops Digital. I think that's the correct term. At least he's the guy behind Tops Digital. They brought Garbage Pail Kids. I did with lead tech engineering from Wax, and well, a lot of different teams I have done interviews with and keep updates. And when something is launching, I usually do a live stream for the launch and try to help onboard people if there's questions. But mostly it's just entertainment, have fun, open packs, do some engagement, build a community. And I love it. I mean, yesterday I did a live stream playing Dark Country, this new game, and that's turning out to be amazing. So it's so much fun.
Yeah, I remember actually when because we kind of run in similar Telegram circles, previous to that. But I remember when you actually first started your YouTube channel, and there was a week or two there where you were kind of like, yeah, I'm not really sure about myself. But then after that, you just kind of exploded, man. Like you went from this guy working behind the scenes to this guy who like knew everyone overnight. Like it was amazing. And I think a lot of that for me has to do with like, yeah, you are a fun place to be. Like, you do all these like weird competitions and stuff. You open packs, like you keep people informed. Like you're really good engagement hub, I think, for Wax. So yeah, I really think what you do for the space is awesome, personally.
Thank you. And yeah, I do. And at the start, if you look at my first videos, the quality of the content is not as good as now. I'm planning to redo a lot of the guides and tutorials I did back then, because I have, higher production quality with this new studio, the background and everything. It adds a lot of value as well.
Yeah, so Corey said something too that I kind of wanted to take up. I was just reading just before I jumped on this channel, right? With Bitcoin right now, we're at like so many firsts. I think we're at the highest market cap ever, even though we're not at the all-time high, back to all-time high again. And I was reading today, like maybe in 10 years time, they are projecting that the market cap of NFTs will be 300 million. That's just the market cap of NFTs, right? Like, I might have that 10-year thing wrong, but I mean, it's just crazy, like the amount of value that people are putting into these collectibles, right? You guys were chatting a little bit before the show about like different people play the game in different ways, right? Like some people are like like
hey, this is from back in February. Crypto's NFT market could cap 315 million this year.
This year, yeah. So that once 10
decade,
years,
10 billion. But this is the thing. Like, I think that the utility market in NFTs is just starting to get explored. We're obviously exploring, integration with the music and sort of video art content collaborations that are possible. But I like collectible art. Like, collectible art is huge because it's where a lot of rich people just kind of store money. So if you end up getting a digital market that gets a sense of itself to the point where, artists start to accrue the kind of stable kind of asset underpinning, right? If you get a Banksy or what have you, like, it's going to have this amount, right? If you get an Uplift drop, there's going to be a market, a big enough market that pricing will be stable. People will start storing their wealth in it, which is bananas. And then, what I'm hoping to see, and I keep trying to get them to do this at Chirp, and I'm going to keep doing it until we get it. Like, the one thing that people do when they have collectible art is they either store it in a bunker somewhere, or they put it up on their frickin' wall. And I would love to see at least one spot where somebody's favorite NFT can be posted up at Chirp as a profile picture on their profile page. Anyway, that's my rant. Good morning.
Yeah, man. Like, I think that, like you said, there's almost no NFTs with utility at all, like, in the market yet. I mean, Void just came out with one. There might be a couple here and there over on Ethereum, but like, I don't know, Anders, do you know any other than that? Like, everything's a game. Like, I'm not saying that games aren't useful. We're just really early days in this space. There's no.
Yeah, and I really think that we need to have more utility and not only pure collectibles. And I think that's what we will see soon as well. There are token like NFTs on different chains that allow voting now, or you can only vote if you have this kind of NFT. And I know other chains that are developing, so you need the NFT, and if you have it, you get free resources and things like that. So if you have, let's say you have NFT A, then you get 10 free transactions. If you have NFT B, you get 15 free transactions per day or something like that. So things like that can also be done with different NFTs. And I do think that most utility we see right now is mainly for games, but also you can use them to access like subscriptions and things like that should also probably be counted as a utility.
Yeah, I've said this a few times on the show already, but I love that you can destroy shit. Like I love that you can have like a piece of art and you can, destroy it and unlock like some other kind of value. Like I think that's a hidden gem of NFTs personally. I mean, it's like playing a board game from the 1960s that you like hand your card to the banker and you get $1 million. I mean, except you actually get to rip it up and throw it up into the air and destroy it, and instead of just giving it to your mom, it's a put in the bank thing, because nobody trusts your dad to be the banker, right? I mean, he's always gonna. But yeah, like I think it's really cool, and like that's the thing with Uplift Nation is like one of the things that I like about Wax is you can back the NFTs with Wax and then you destroy it and that Wax is released into your account. But one of the things I thought that Uplift.Art did really well was you could destroy it and then have a whole new NFT created. Like that was kind of a cool utility in a way, right? It's a one-time utility. It's a little bit different, but yeah. So I saw recently as well you talking on Twitter about Blankos as well. Blankos just came out. Blankos has been like the biggest kind of hyped game for, I don't know, more than a year, right, on EOS. So I was just curious, one, what are your thoughts on Blankos? Because I know most of the stuff that you deal with is in Wax, obviously, because that's what makes sense. So what are your thoughts on Blankos? And then do you have like, this is a crazy question probably for you because I'm sure you love them all, but do you have a favorite Pokemon per se? Like what's your favorite, what's your favorite NFT, like what's your favorite project or what a project that you're really passionate about?
Yeah, okay, let's see. Let's start with Blankos. And Blankos is this new game that is using EOS.io technology in the background. A lot of people have thought that it would use the EOS blockchain, and that doesn't seem to be the case. It's using its own blockchain, which makes more sense for a project like this. They are using their own NFT standard, and I have a friend that has he's reading all the data that is going to Blankos from his computer and back, and he found a lot of information from the API. So they are using DGoods. They have a blockchain running with the information, but it's not public yet. But they are testing everything is in the beta, and the game itself is very smooth. I tried it. I played it a bit. That kind of game is not really the game that I play. I like like PUBG, Call of Duty, Fortnite. I also like real-time story like StarCraft 2, these kind of games. And this game is a little bit more like you sit and in a chat with other people, you are having fun, but it feels, I don't know a good word for the unserious. Like you're going there and just playing around, laughing and everything, which is great. It's pure entertainment. And there is this competitive part where you have these shooter games inside these games. You can join a game and you can compete against other players and shoot them. You get weapons. But that game for me was not well executed. There was like the shooting with some weapons, the how the bullets move and how it feels going out from your weapon. It was very weird to control it compared to other games I played, compared like Fortnite, PUBG, COD, and games like this. They're all different, but Blankos had their own way. And the rocket launcher was kind of like Quake, which I like. It's an otherworld game. If anyone is a gamer, it goes straight and it blows up, and it was great. But like the machine guns and things like that, I didn't like them. But I think that will improve after all. And people can build their own games inside Blankos, their own maps, and they can, like, you can either compete from time, so you start at one point and then you should go first to the end, and the first one to go to the end wins. And on that map you can find weapons and shoot other people if that is part of it. So I think it has great potential. I think it's awesome. It's exciting, and I will do some live streaming playing this game. I was gonna do it yesterday or today, but it feels like my days are getting filled with stuff. So I probably have to wait a few days for it, but I'm gonna do some live streaming. I think it will be fun to play that game.
Yeah, for me, one of the most interesting aspects about it is what you said there at the end is like people can build their own games within it. Like it reminds me of I'm not a big gamer, but like back in the day, I used to play things like SimCity, where you could like, you know, build your own map and then other people could come and they could play your scenario and stuff like that. I think like for gamers, that's like kind of the future, right? Like,
yeah,
build your own games, but I like that aspect a lot.
So have they done an NFT drop? And if so, like how are they how are they integrating that technology?
Yeah, they have these founder packs where you could buy 4 different like levels of NFTs, and then you get some extra items if you buy the more expensive ones, some cooler ones, and you have to have bought one of these founder packs to be able to play the beta game right now. They are still on for sale. They claim it's a limited sale. People thought limited sale would be the same as on Wax, where you have like, okay, there's only 300 and then it's out. But limited sale is probably more like the founders will be open for a time period. When that time period closes, you will not be able to get these. So it's limited in the way of like the big gaming world is limited rather than let's say how we are used to in the NFT space on Wax right now. And I think that is good because this game is not supposed to be the first few people that bought it have it and then the price goes up. It's supposed to be here so people can actually play it. And I think the cheapest one is $25 or something like that. If you buy that, you get access to the game and you can play it. And in the game, you can buy other characters, and all of them are NFTs and they have a mint number, or so they say. You can find this data as my friend did, but I'm not sure that we have this public if it is an NFT yet. It looks like it, but we can't verify it like we can do on Ethereum, Wax, or all other blockchains.
Interesting.
Since it's not public, yeah. But I don't. They claim that it will be NFTs and on blockchain, so I don't think they will lie about it. Just that we can't verify it right now, to my knowledge.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. So this game is very exciting, and you also asked like what my favorite Pokemon is, and I guess you mean like my favorite project in the NFT space. And I don't know. There's a lot of different ones. I want something with utility, so I want at least a game to be a favorite one. I really like Uplift.Art from the sake that Uplift.Art is taking a large portion of the sales and giving it to something positive, but it's still collectibles. And for me, I'm donating to give to this charity, and I get some art. It's fun. I can burn it. I can engage with it. But for me, I don't really like to collect things that much, which I have said a lot of times, and yet I have over 1,000 NFTs. So
it's all fun and games till you get sucked into NFT land.
Exactly, but I usually end up like waking up someday like, oh, I have too many, and I just put them all out on market. I'm very impulsive like that, so I don't have this like connection to it. But the game items, I kind of want to keep to have them in the future, so they add some kind of value for me. So my favorite, probably like from what I can do right now, the most fun thing since yesterday would be Dark Country, because you have a game, you can actually play it. This game, however, right now runs off-chain, so you play it, and this is good because they have to test things. They don't need to use your inventory. Everyone that has this early access ticket can play, and they get assigned a lot of like cards that you will later use from your inventory. So this is great from what we currently have. And from moving forward, I think Alien Worlds, this project has a lot of potential. The first game is very basic. It's a mining game where you log into an interface, you choose a planet, you choose land on the planet, and you start mining with your tools, and then you get some tokens, and those tokens can be staked to a planet, and you get some more resources. And it's this economic ecosystem in the baseline. And what they are saying that they are building on this is multiple games using these tokens, using this ecosystem. So if they get enough funding and if it gets some users and everything, it will grow into this big ecosystem that has a lot of different games where you can use their in-game tokens, their in-game NFTs, and more different things. And for any like mainstream game that can be modded in some way, which a lot of games can be, they can actually integrate the Alien World ecosystem inside that game. So you can have like Alien World mining inside Minecraft and things like this. So the baseline is very simple, but what can happen later is we can play Minecraft and earn NFTs on Wax.
Have they done that? Because I actually we have a world in Minecraft, like just a server or whatever, right? Where we want to start testing stuff like that. But of course, as you guys know, like I'm not a dev. I'm just a nerd who likes to ask devs for shit. Basically, that's basically my job at Chirp. Can you guys do this thing? They love it. Anyway, so we every Sunday we hold Church of Reason, which is like a secular gratitude based just like a place for even if people are religious or whatever, or atheists like me, just to kind of have that level of fellowship or community. We do that or whatever. So we built a cathedral in Minecraft, and so like I want to parcel it out and sell land in that place, but I want to do it for cryptocurrency, whether it's Shipple or Dust or just some kind of joke token or what have you. But being able to integrate some API where we can actually start doing mining dynamics and real economics into that engine, there's a lot of interest for that. And connecting potentially findable NFTs to that as well. Like suddenly, if I can give people on a percentage basis the idea that they could pull from a pool of NFTs that I predefine anywhere that they mine, I mean, they'd probably strip mine the whole fucking world, but only in parts they buy.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't never hosted a Minecraft server. I haven't looked how it look in the back end, but I have done it for Ark. Ark Survival Evolved is this game where you wake up on a beach, you have nothing, you start to collect rocks, you hit trees, you get some wood, you make a tool, you start to get cooler stuff. There's dinosaurs, you can knock them out, you can tame them, you can ride the dinosaurs, you build your base and you fight other people. And the server is live all the time. And if you host one of these servers, you get the server log, and this log just lists events that is happening on the server. So if you just have something that reads this log and then use that, connect that to the blockchain, then you have this integration done in a centralized way. But anyways, a game server is a centralized way, so you need a trusted entity to do this. But this is someone just need to do some time, and it's very possible to do this. And then you could integrate, so like the minions in Alien Worlds could be something that you have in the game as well, connected to different aspects. But you need to have this plugin run on the server for it to work, of course, and things like that. But it's very possible to do these kind of things if you have the time and interest.
So nerds, if you're listening, there's a ridiculous amount of Shipple in it for you.
And you can get funding through Alien Worlds Trillium. That's their token. If cool. You plan to do things like that, you can get some tokens.
Wasn't Trillium from Command and Conquer?
Not sure.
Anyway, I'm showing how old I am. Command and Conquer. I fucking love that game. Oh, sigh. So if you do want to get, I would actually love to invite both of you guys. If you manage to get your hands on the Java version of Minecraft, let me know, and I will whitelist you guys for the server. We do that at 9:30 on Sunday mornings, and it's more of a blast than I ever would have expected. Like my whole extended family comes, like half the fans of #Coffee, our other morning show, kind of show up, and it's just like just all about positivity, gratitude. We built gratitude monuments where people in the comments will throw us their gratitudes. We actually affix them to the monuments in real time, and they live up there. And I just started building Cathedral 2.0, which is fucking stupid big. It's again, like, now granted, like, you own those Minecraft things and look at the builds out there, it's not that cool, but it is that big. Anyway, so get Minecraft Java, hit me up, and we'll make it happen. I'd love to see you guys there. What is the most you have ever sold an NFT for?
I think one of the is a few thousand wax. I'm not sure if I sold some simple asset for more, but I checked like Atomic Asset. They have this list, and I think it was 4,500 wax for one NFT.
Crazy.
But I might have sold some Garbage Pail Kid for more before. I have sold an asset which I feel kind of bad for now from a project that got blacklisted for more in a peer-to-peer trade.
Uh-oh.
But that was before we knew how bad it was and before they got blacklisted and everything.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm still. I need to. We're talking to M Blue and I are actually going on Ken's show in Ken Bosak in a couple of weeks, I think. And we were talking off air, Anders and I, about the fact that like somebody bought one of my Mint One just comments for 6K wax, which is completely freaking bananas. And it might have been Ken, so I have to ask him about that and find out if that actually was him. He loves him some Mint Ones, man.
That's another thing. Like I kind of wanted to ask your take. Like we're all kind of involved, but I think it's fascinating. This whole new direction that Uplift.Art and Atomic Assets has been able to route with the NFTs and the pre-mints and the crates and the boxes and stuff like that, right? Like I know there's still quite a few crates out there that have yet to be opened, and as people open them, like more number ones will pop up, more mints will pop up. I'm just curious, like, you know, I don't always hit the collection scene or the purchase scene as easily as some people might, because, you know, I'm usually sleeping when things like that hit the market. So I went through like a few of them. One of my favorite ones actually was Blockchain Heroes, just because I'm a historian, and even though it's fake history, I just love it. You know, it's really cool, right? And those guys are really fun too, right? So I was there live for that one. A lot of the other ones, you know, I picked up, you know, maybe later, or you know, sometimes even on the secondary markets. Or recently, there's a few that they're not selling out as fast as they used to, like as fast as the old Garbage Pail Kids. I don't know whether they've increased supply or whether it's gaming. Tribal Books, for example, if you look at what happened there, the writing was on the wall. I can't believe I didn't see it. But basically all of the books got sold out within like, you know, 6 hours, and they've still got a ton of like, you know, founders packs that are still listed on the site. So it's kind of like, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna like get a set, and then I got busy, and it's 2 weeks later, and I'm like, oh, I'll just buy a couple more packs later. I'm not really interested in them because they haven't sold out anymore, right? Like, so I just kind of curious, like, you've been in it kind of from the beginning, like that rush that you get from like trying to get on there and open the packs first and get the number one mint. And
I need to address this first, because we've done this live twice now, and Anders beats me every fucking time. The first Uplift drop that we did, we're in there like mashing the button or whatever, and he gets the first. I think it was the like the
Bitcoin Bull.
Snake, the Bitcoin Bull one, which is now kind of the Genesis account for Uplift. Which is kind of fun. But yeah, I got number 2. I was all excited about it. And Anders got number 1. And then we started doing this one. And of course, like the mint sprint, I kind of understood it, but didn't understand how fast you needed to be. So I'm like, oh, I got all my crates, and I'm like looking through all my things. And he's like, no. Because he was in the test net, obviously practicing diligently.
No, I was actually doing it and showing people how to do it.
Sure. Yeah. He was showing people. For the record, he totally was showing people. I'm just busting his balls. But, you know, he came in and he's like, the mint sprint like crazy. We're not watching these fucking cool videos. We're not watching the things coming by. We're not doing any of that shit. Yeah. We need to absolutely get as many of these things as we possibly can so we can rip over to the other side, get 25, get the first common, mint number 1 common collector's edition, which he did. I got number 2 because that's apparently just where I'm at now. Anders is going to beat me forever, and I'm going to be second place. I'm pretty excited about my number 2, but Anders has number 1 because he's just fast as hell.
For sure. And like for people that don't know, the mint number is the first one that is minted of that NFT type, I guess we would say. Like for Garbage Pail Kid, let's say a Pokemon, we could have a
comic book.
Yeah. We
first one comes off the press, right?
Yeah, exactly. The first one that comes off the press for that type. So, and there could be like a rarity, there could be a base one and a rare one, for example, 2 different ones. So the first base one and the first rare one both can have mint number 1. So each for each rarity, and then we could have like if this is Pokemon, then we can have like Bulbasaur base and Bulbasaur rare both have a mint number 1, and the second one that is minted of that rarity will have mint number 2, and so forth. That's just how it works, and people value the first one. That's a collectible thing back in forever. The first generation, the first series, the first everything is usually the most valuable thing.
Well, almost forever. Since we started farming. Before we started farming and you gave someone a piece of fruit and said, hey, would you want to be the first one to eat it? No one wanted to eat it first.
Very, very true. Kings had these people tasting their food first as well. So I guess that's true. And then what happens is that the first guy that buys the guy or girl buys the pack and open it, are more like they will get the first mints of those that are in the packs. And a pack has a random items inside, so you can get something. The first pack will always contain the first mints of everything. But if a lot of them are open at the same time, soon the mint will be higher and the most valuable things will be in the start.
Well, yeah, so just to clarify that, because there might be some people that might not quite get it. So how this works is when you open the pack, the card is created.
Yes.
So if you're the first person to open the pack and that card is the first one to be created, then you get the first mint.
But that's not how Uplift worked, though, right? Because
exactly.
They pre-minted everything so that like the last pack that's bought, I think there's like about 60% or whatever of the big packs left or whatever. Like every pack has exactly the same percentage likelihood to get a mint number 1 or a super rare as all the others. Although one thing I did notice, like the $5 packs, you have less likelihood of getting some of the like higher rarities or whatever. So you actually have a percentage added benefit for doing the $25 one.
Yeah, exactly. And like if we go back in history, if you buy like Magic the Gathering packs in a store, of course they are pre-minted. They have to pack them and send them out. So it would be the same thing now for a lot of projects moving forward. We'll have these pre-minted so that not only the first guys on the scene will get the most valuable assets, but you can actually get them later. That is something that is good. Another way to like give some kind of value in the end is to do like Blockchain Heroes did with their Electrical Genesis. It can only be found once in one pack, if in some pack, which also increased the likelihood of someone wanting to buy packs and opening them later to get this very rare item. But what Uplift does is they pre-minted everything, so everyone has equal chance of getting this. But if you have one of each of a rarity, and there's 25 different ones, you could send them, and then they essentially are burned. So they are gone, and then you get a minted one, the first one to do that, get the first one of another edition. They called it the collector edition, and you get the music video that Corey is singing. He was on my other side today. So that is like another way that is more fair to people, because what happened in the last sales is there are people that are scripting. They learn how the smart contract works. They buy it on a button, and then they send and open them all on a button, and they're more likely to get the number 1 mints, which is all fair because they're doing what they should. But people that can't do that feel like treated in an unfair way. So pre-minting will solve that. So this is a good thing that actually is coming.
I can't wait to see what happens next. I mean, are we going to potentially have packs that are, half and half? Like, Corey's coffee in the morning, half of them are pre-minted and half of them are like mint as you go. Like,
well, it's like that's exactly what the mint as you go gamification is exactly what Uplift did, right?
Yeah.
So like that's where everybody has the same chance, whether you buy the first pack or the last pack. I personally really like that because like I want to see this thing sell out so that we raise as much money as humanly possible for Haitian Roots, which is gonna be fun. But like with the collectors thing, like the mint sprint situation is basically the best of both worlds anyway, right? So like you're incentivized to buy a whole bunch of packs right off the bat, which is fantastic and super fun. You open them all up, and then if you're really, really fast, like some people, I'm pointing the wrong way now. Hold on, there we go. Okay. Then you do get the mint number 1, and if you're slightly less fast, you get the mint number 2.
I'm personally, I'm just holding all my commons until I'm the only one that has any commons left, and then I'm going to be loaded.
That's definitely the long game. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's
for sure a game theory, and another question that Jimmy asked is like, now sales are not selling out. Why is that? And it's basically we have too much going on for the size of the community we have. The same people, like the base is the same people, and then we have another like portion of the buyers that are from different community or that only buys from one type.
Yeah.
But what we do is we have too much going on, so people can't go deep into one because they want a little bit of everything. And all the projects still think that everyone wants to participate in their project. So they are doing, in my opinion, they're going too big with each chain. They need to reduce it and base it to the community right now. Build a community. The buyers need to feel that they are buying something that other people want to get from them in some way, or perhaps the buyer didn't get everything, so they need to buy something from other buyers, so they get the whole collection that they want to have. But this doesn't exist if the packs don't sell out, if it's not limited. So everyone can get all the collections. There's no issue with this. And if you buy them to get the whole collection with the idea that you want to sell them later, it doesn't work if they can still buy it cheap from the source. It do work for games, because games you want to buy something that you use in the game and play in the game. So there it makes sense that people can actually continue to buy it for a set limited time, like Blancos has for a time limit, or Tribal Books has. They have their packs and they are not burning it, they are leaving them open, so people can find out about Tribal Books when it's live and come and buy these NFTs and play the game, so they are not all sold out.
So yeah, and I would say the same thing for Uplift as well, right? Like, there's no limit on this. There's no limit on this burn min sprint thing. I mean, as long as packs are available, people can continue to burn and they can continue to get the full music video. And there's other incentives that other projects might throw in there as well. Here's our plug for Uplift Nation, though. Here's our incentive. I mean, if you have the collector's edition of that, I'm Not the Bubble, you'll actually be able to, it'll be used as a coupon or a pass to be able to actually download the real, I don't know what the word is for it now. It's not the real, because the real one's on the blockchain, but the one that's not on the blockchain, and plug it into your MP3 player.
Yeah, you can download an MP3 version.
Yeah, that I was talking to MBlue about that over the last couple of days. Like, basically, and I don't know exactly how we'll set it up or what have you, but I was trying to figure out, okay, how do we sort of incentivize the whales, because the whole 80-20 rule, right? Like 20% of people are going to buy 80% of the drop, basically whatever you do. So how do we incentivize for them, but still get the actual song out to people? Because honestly, like, as a guy who collabed on it, like, I usually try to be a little bit more humble about this, but fuck that shit. It's the Bitcoin anthem, right? Like, and we're just getting into a bull run. Like, it's a really, really good time for that. So I want to get the actual song out there. But so we talked about, when the thing actually sells out, incentivizing people to help, kind of get that whole thing finished off. We mint an NFT. And it goes out to literally everybody who bought even one pack. But the person who spent the most on packs gets mint number one, right? And that NFT can be redeemed for an MP3 download link. And so if you want to burn it and get the MP3, great. If you want to go buy one off the secondary market for $1 or whatever, you can do that too. And obviously people will copy it and just send it to each other. Like, obviously, there's no control over that, and we don't really give a shit, because that's just the way the industry works.
It's burned for the link, or it's just a key for the link?
Well,
I can answer that. Both have been discussed, and depending on the time it needs to be implemented, it's likely that it will act as a key.
Okay. All right. Well, I like that, because then you keep it anyway, and you kind of have a keepsake. I'm cool with that. All right. Well, you guys know more about this than I do.
But that is discussed. As far as I know, that is still being discussed. So that is
we
final.
don't know.
But it will give access to an MP3 file that you can use, and you can listen to the MP3, which is nice.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Yeah, I think it's great. Like, I think, as you said, Anders, like, there's going to be different kinds of utility that pop up across the space. Like, I mean, people really get into games, like, that's going to be awesome. They're going to keep buying the packs, right? But, I mean, I think it's great. Like, there's going to be different kinds of utility that pop up across the space. Like, I mean, people really get into games, like, that's going to be awesome. They're going to keep buying the packs, right? But, I mean, I think it's great. Like, there's going to be different kinds of utility that pop up across the space. Like, I mean, people really get into games, like, that's going to be awesome. They're going to keep buying the packs, right? But it's hard to get people into games when there's so much going on. I mean, you know, I wrote an article last month. I was gonna write it for the last 2 months of the year, highlighting all the projects that came out, you know, on Wax, just Wax.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Like I could have written more than I needed to, but I'm been stressed for time. So I just cut it off in November, and the amount of releases in November were astronomical. Plus, there's a whole ton of them coming out in December. Like, yeah, the NFT on Wax release schedule is absolutely insane. You're probably looking at like 5 to 6 new projects a month, plus 2 or 3, you know, revamped card sets or something for pre-existent projects. Like, definitely the ecosystem needs to grow. What you said earlier about Alien Worlds might be nice, because if you can port these crypto-based NFT ecosystems into already pre-existing games, then you might be able to garner interest, as opposed to having to pull people away from those games into our little like, sphere. Like, the Wax Cloud Wallet is amazing. I mean, I'd like to get your take on that too. I mean, they just updated it not so long ago, but I went in there the other day. It's just beautiful. It's like a shiny new like car. Like, it's so beautiful. Like, compared to the old school Wax wallet, it's like I don't want to leave. It's like I'm in a 3D movie theater that I can't like escape. You know.
Yeah, but it's kind of like that compared to all crypto wallets, because all of them are useless. There is not a single good cryptocurrency wallet that I have ever used. And the cloud wallet is the first one that comes close to it, but that also has issues that are being resolved and worked on right now. Like, sometimes you have to re-sign a transaction because the first one get an error and you have to do it again. Sometimes it looks like you are logged in, everything is good, but you are not, and you have to re-log in. And you can't reset the 2FA. This is something that is very bad for Apple users. And there are a lot of different things that has to be solved for a wallet to actually be good. If we have Anchor, if it's on and you start to work with the website, adapt for it, doesn't work, you have to restart the wallet, and that shouldn't happen. We have Scatter, it just doesn't work. Sometimes you can't get your accounts, the values are wrong in the wallet, you have to search to find something, it's impossible. All of these like, if we go to my I lost the word for the one that we use for MetaMask is the one I was gonna say. That is horrible. You can't understand it if you're not a tech person.
Yeah.
I mean, we need something that people can actually use, and the Ledger wallet is also confusing. The Ledger Live, and I mean, we are getting there. They are getting better. The wallets are getting better, but you still need to know a lot of things before you can actually use them, and that makes them bad.
Well, I mean, personally, I'm a bit of a fan of Wombat, because they've done a similar thing to what the Wax Cloud wallet has done, where they allow that kind of social login to a very smaller extent, but they have EOS accounts and Telos accounts, not Wax accounts. But like you said, you know, I like Anchor, but I almost never use it because it's too big of a product. There's so much going on in there, and like, you know, this is the thing with, I think, NFTs in particular and gaming in particular. We're going to need to be able to get people who are only on cell phones, that only care about playing games. They don't care about learning how blockchain works to be able to get in here, right? And it's the same thing with this music thing, right? Like, people that really like the music video, they need a way to come in and to be able to, you know, play this, you know, game and get this music video easily without understanding blockchain. I think the Wax Cloud wallet, like you said, there's issues, but it does actually allow people to do that, right? Like, yes. I mean, you can sign up with Google, you can sign up with Facebook, you can sign up with all of these, you know, different social media logins. So that's one good, you know, one good point. But like you said, we've got a long way to go, which is, to me, is actually surprising, because I still don't understand how Wax is still a really small ecosystem. It's a really small member of communities, and so I kind of wanted to get your take on that as well, Anders. Like, it's clearly the most easy NFT collectible space to get into if you're not a blockchain user. I mean, if you're from Ethereum, then you'd never want to leave Ethereum. That kind of seems to be where we are, right?
Yeah, they're stuck there forever.
they're in the ether. They can never get out. But like, what do you think? Like, so we've got all these like cool new partnerships coming in. Like, Topps joined up, and with Topps, you have a lot of IP rights with Hollywood and the Avengers and a bunch of other different kind of collectibles that could potentially soon come to the Wax blockchain. Like,
Yeah.
Is there going to be some way for Wax to tap into the masses, to bring them in? Like, is it going to be through music? Is it going to be through videos? I mean, is it going to be through trading cards? Is it going to be through games? Like, there's like Dark Country or Tribal Books. They're kind of like those old school like Pokemon games in a way, like with the cards and stuff. Like, what do you think? The first player shooter games. What do you think is going to be the biggest draw to the people who aren't already in crypto?
Yeah, they have to have a reason to come, and the reason can be that it is NFTs because they don't understand what an NFT is. And if that is the first step, we have failed. They have to have a reason to come to get something that they want. And when they are here, everything is easy for them to integrate and to use. That is my whole point. And that is where games come in, because then you can market a game. People can go play the game. And when you play the game, hey, you also get an account on Wax where you get your items from the game that you can actually own, trade, and sell. The same goes for like Uplift.Art is also a great way in, because perhaps you want to contribute to this. Well, they want to donate people from the sale. They don't want not donate people. They want to donate value from the sale to a charity, so people can actually go and like buy stuff off them for the meaning of going to a charity, which means that you actually get, okay, the point of me going here is that I want to contribute to this charity to build up this ecosystem, and that can be enough to get new people. But they need to get to understand where it goes. They need to see where everything goes. And if we go like 6-12 months down the line, Uplift.Art probably will be able to showcase things from Haitian Roots and perhaps other projects they work with in the future, which means that, hey, we are doing this sale. This portion is going directly to whatever cause we are working on right now. So then people can come and plug in their cryptocurrency, or they can perhaps plug in their credit card or whatever they have, and they can participate in this. And that is a way to get like new users, because just telling people, hey, come and buy this NFT, it's proven authentic, you can't fake it. Yeah, but why do I need it? Why do I want it?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense for me unless I understand why I need it, and then it makes sense, and then it looks good, and then I want it. So for a game, it makes total sense. Like, you start to play the game, like Blancos, for example. You buy a founder's guide to use it in the game, to play the game. You get access to the game. It is on a blockchain, but you don't even need to know that. You log into the game, you have the game, you play the game. Oh, I have more items. And in the future, when there's a market, oh, look, I can sell my stuff. I don't need to understand that it's on a blockchain as a user. As a tech person interested in it, I need to understand it. I do understand it. I enjoy it. But that's not what will bring in people. And currently, projects are marketing, hey, we're an NFT. Hey, we're amazing. Non-coiners doesn't care.
Yeah, it's interesting because you're on the completely opposite side of the room from me. And I think your points are really valid, which is why I asked you this question. But what I want to see is I want to see artists and musicians being able to actually get, paid for their value, right? I mean, you go to flea markets all over the world. You go to flea markets and you've got like little like replicas, statues, or paintings that have been brought over from Africa or Southeast Asia. They're being sold for absorbent amounts of money. And you know that like some, woman or some, artist in some small town, somewhere has been creating this, and it's a fraction of the cost that they got for it. So I think that for me, that's where blockchain technology is like really interesting, whereby when we mix it with art, we can actually pull these people directly into a system whereby they can sell or they can make a living with their value, right? So I think like it needs to be kind of twofold, like you said. If you say, hey, have you ever thought about creating an NFT music video that's going to go on the blockchain? They're going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? Just give me $1, man.
Yeah.
Here's what's fun though. My buddy Greg, my co-host for my #Coffee Morning Show, I have been telling him about NFTs for a year, and you could just watch it kind of bounce off his skull and then kind of disappear into the ether, no pun intended. So I finally said, okay, listen, like I'm going to send you some wax. You're going to buy some crates so you understand what this is like. This is for my music. He's been a fan of my music for a long time, probably my biggest fan, right? So like that's kind of the end, right? He's okay, well, if you're only going to release music here, I'm going to probably have to figure this out. Like, yeah, so he's willing to spend the time to do it. So he buys some, and we're buying some to give away for the show because I'm sort of back ending all of the other people who kind of sort of maybe know what's going on, because again, like they want to get a piece of the music and find out why I'm so freaking excited about all this stuff. Within an hour, like he puts one up for sale and then like starts to kind of look around. Within an hour, he's fucking sold. Like, yeah, NFTs like crazy. I'm waking up like, oh, dude, I just sold an NFT for like 30 wax. I'm like, oh, pumpkin. He's so stoked. He's like, that conversion. Like, if we can find the excuse, if people are on wax or on Atomic Hub, for an hour, they get a pack, they see it, they're like, oh man, he got like a mythic, the fucker. I don't even have any mythics, which is fun. But he kind of gets the sense of that whole thing. The speed with which he went from complete ignorance to, wait a minute, I need more packs, was very, very fast and super exciting. So it really is, to Andrew's point, whether it's a game or music or whatever, they need a reason to come and spend some time there so they can understand why it's such a fun kind of thing to do.
Yeah, and when they come, they have to have tools that this first step can't be to educate yourself how things work. The first step should just be to sign up and get whatever you want. And this is what Cloud Wallet does. This is why Atomic Hub is such a great market. It's easy to find your things. It's easy to put something up for sale. Compared to a lot of other markets, it isn't easy, because the first thing, if you have Ethereum as an example, the first thing is that you have to educate yourself to even participate in anything. And then you have to pay fees to do the first thing. And I mean, there are fees on Wax as well, not in transactions, but when you buy something, there are fees for that. For the seller, there are fees, not for the buyer. And in one way, a seller will add price to their sale, so the fee will actually be covered by the buyer and not the seller. But the fee isn't shown for the buyer, it's shown for the seller. And I think this is very important, just to get that. What we need is the reason for people to come, experience it, use tools that are seamless, that are easy to integrate with, and then they are hooked. And I don't see a lot of marketing done that way.
Yeah, well, and I think we'll see more and more of it all the time, because I think people are starting to come to the realization that there is saturation, in the community, right? There are so many ideas and a lot of really, really good ones. But when
it comes to art, for example, we need a place to showcase art, because we don't have a single art-focused marketplace or artist-focused marketplace. They don't exist. We need someone to design it.
Pixios did an okay job with that. I'd actually like to see Uplift.Art implement something similar. But if you know what Pixios did, they had a partnership with basically some company that created a frame that would actually display the NFTs, that you could, play the NFTs. And I think, I've always said Uplift.Art with the music videos, that's going to be the next MTV, really, right? And I kind of feel like every advertisement everywhere, on every billboard. I'm not even a fan of billboards. I hate billboards, actually. But every advertisement everywhere on every billboard should be an NFT. It just makes sense. Why do you need someone selling or playing something when you have NFTs? Like you could create an NFT that every time it was played as an advertisement on a billboard, it burned a little bit of the value. And once that value was done, then you couldn't play it anymore. I mean, we have this potential for, greater business to be able to work within certain parameters that we could set where, like, you could burn little bits of value here and there. I mean, this sounds really, almost lame, but like, I kind of want to go into a supermarket and have the cash register scan my NFT of a green apple, and that NFT get burnt, and then you get a green apple. Like, this is a great application for NFT.
Man, that's or we could just we could do this really weird thing. It's gonna sound completely insane. I know we used to use shells for this, but you could create something called Chex Notes Money. And then you could just trade that in for anything. You wouldn't even need to be an apple, Jimmy. You can trade it in for a car or a donut or an apple. It's entirely up to you.
No, but think about it. I mean, we're the new generation, and I mean, we're missing out on this whole experience of not being able to coupon like our grandparents. Our grandparents, they had coupons for everything, right? And I mean, why? Like, we're like, as an environmentalist, we're burning paper, right? Like, why do I have to go onto a website and download something, right? Like, why do I have to have my mailbox filled up with like thousands of papers when I'm signing up for a website anyway? So I sign up for a website. They send an NFT to my, Wax account or my EOS account. I walk into a shop. I get a 20% discount. They scan the NFT. It's burned. They don't have to check whether it's valid. They don't have to read the little code on it. Like, it's done. Here's your 20% discount. The NFT is gone. It can never be, changed. It can never be used again because it's burned. It's gone. It's done,
I all jokes aside, I think you're totally right. I was just thinking, like, man, that you're gonna need a lot of NFTs to go grocery shopping. I sort of extrapolated in the wrong direction, but yeah, no, I think as far as couponing and stuff is concerned, I think that there's an immediate use case that's probably worth billions of dollars, right? As far as an actual financial use case for the space.
I mean, we're even looking at I don't know whether you really need an NFT or not, but I mean, we're even looking at things like IBC. Sorry, not IBC. Universal Basic Income. So many IBs. Yeah, whatever.
Acronyms are hard.
Yeah, really difficult. But like something like Universal Basic Income. I mean, like, why not just send everyone a sticker on the Wax blockchain that says free money, and when you burn it, you get the money? I mean, make it fun. If you're going to give people free money, you may as well make it an NFT. I mean, why not?
It's like an added step, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that can be done for sure, and like you mentioned the flea market part and the artist, and for me what makes sense then is that they actually back their physical goods with an NFT, and that NFT can be redeemed for the physical goods, and it can actually be a pre-order, like a Kickstarted. So someone like, okay, I'm gonna make I make statues, and I'm gonna make 10 of the same statue because that's how I work. So I mean 10. But I only create them when someone has actually bought them. So you pre-ordered, and the money goes directly to the artist, and that's like that kind of Kickstarter artist way is something that I think is very exciting, and that can be done in many ways, like in games or stuff like that. And if we take MP4s, for example, like we were talking on, what people can actually do is anyone could create YouTube for NFT MP4s, like the music videos and things like that. So you have a YouTube, and then you have a list of all the holders of that NFT in that in their backend, and then they have ads on that page, and the ads is distributed in form of wax to the holders. So if you have 10% of all the NFTs of that MP4, then you will get 10% of all the ad revenue from that site or whatever. And then the incentive for someone to build it is, of course, okay, I will keep 10 or 20% of all ad revenue to finance the platform. And okay, how do I get products? Okay, I implement all the Wax MP4s that exist. I get the information. The users want to create the MP4s because if I own them, I also get the ad revenue for anyone watching. And I have this entire ecosystem being built by people using other people's stuff, and the ones that are benefiting for it is the community.
That sounds freaking fantastic. So, and I was just thinking about in terms of like if everybody got a UBI NFT and you had to redeem it, what would happen if you staked that NFT? Huh? Get a little vague? Sup? Anyway, for the record, that idea is entertaining. What Anders just said is way fucking cooler, just in case anyone was keeping track. As usual, Anders is number one, and I am distant.
It's just how the world works, right?
Exactly. If you just joined us, you'll have to go back to the beginning of this episode to find out why Anders always beats me, because he always does, and it is infuriating. But
it's great to the beginning of this episode, but it's also great just to go check him out on his YouTube channel, and you'll see.
Yes. Any observation on YouTube? If you're not following him already, what the fuck's wrong with you? Just go do that. Stop watching this right now.
Go subscribe.
Exactly. Go subscribe. No, your channel is super fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Obviously, as far as headlines this week for EOS.io weekly update, I think the basic consensus is that we're just saying fuck it, because Bitcoin has swallowed up all the oxygen in the room. And yay, we've been waiting for a long time. Bitcoin's got to do its little bull run thing, and then it'll start trickling down to all these other projects. The only time
on EOS, if you are an EOS DAC holder on EOS, you can actually buy packs of Alien Worlds DAC sale starting tomorrow, Friday.
Nice.
They only sell these packs for EOS DAC tokens on the. Well, you use the EOS DAC token and you get the NFT on your Wax account, and then you can open that pack if you want to. I guess that's something that is happening and is some kind of a news, I guess.
Yeah, the founder of Alien Worlds was the same as EOS DAC, right? Michael Yeats, I think. So yeah. There's a connection there, and a really interesting person to follow. But yeah, I'm pondering doing that because I have a few EOS DAC that get me nowhere. One of those tokens that the EOS DAC was the first token that was. I've got this wrong somehow, but I think I bought EOS DAC before EOS was created.
Yes, they were on Ethereum first.
Ethereum version, yeah. They gave me like a free wallet. It was awesome. I was like, what? I got two wallets now. This is awesome. Yeah, it's great. Are you going to? I know you've got videos and tons of stuff lined up. Always. What's going on this week for you, Anders? Do you have anything that is especially exciting? Any interviews or any pack opening? Or any?
Tomorrow is Friday, and tomorrow is the early access of Dark Country, and I will do a live stream together with Ken Bosak where we will play each other for that game, which will be around 10 p.m. Central European time. I think that's like 4 p.m. EST.
Okay.
So we were
people. I really like Dark Country. I don't play it, but I really like it. Do you want to give people a rundown about what it is?
If anyone has ever played Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, or Hearthstone, or any game like that, they will know exactly how it works. You have your cards, you put a deck together, and then you search for a game, and then you play other people. You get the randomized card, you have your mana pool. You start with one. Each round you get the second mana pool, a third, a fourth, and then your card costs anything from 1 mana to... I don't know how much they can go in Dark Country, but probably 9 or 10. So if you play a card that has 1 mana, then it costs 1 mana. And then if you have one that costs 5, but you only have 4, then you can't play it right now. So you have to wait for the next round. Each round you get a randomized card from your deck. You have 40 cards. So there's 40 rounds that is possible. And then, well, I guess you can actually do more rounds until the game is finished. But it will likely be finished before. Some cards has different abilities. Then you place your card, and then it might have an ability. If not, you have to wait for next round, and then you can attack with it and attack either their creatures or their player. Some cards you can place them and attack directly, but then they have an ability. So then your goal is to defeat the other guy's hero, which has 30 life. and they will try to defend it with their cards, and they will try to beat you. So it's all about tactic and a little bit luck to get the right cards in the right order. A lot of fun.
And the art for Dark Country is absolutely fascinating. It's amazing artwork. Like, I don't know where their artists came from, but it's just amazing. It's a mind.
It's well executed for sure.
This kind of sounds like fourth dimensional rock paper scissors.
Yeah, with more rounds than just 3 or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So I was like, not 2-dimensional, not 3-dimensional. This is 4-dimensional rock paper scissors. So you know,
it's very, very easy to get started. You just choose random cards for your deck, and then you hit play, and then you start, and then you will get beaten by people that understand the game. But you still have a chance if you're lucky. And like the order you do things on your round will matter, because the first action you do might depend on the second action if you want optimal result for it. So the more you play it, the more tactic, the more gameplay.
Jimmy, we should have them on, and then like you and I play each other from scratch, just because it'd be hilarious.
Actually, we totally could. Like, I really like those guys a lot. Like I said, I don't play, but I like them a lot. I've had
I think two old guys who've never played before playing each other might be the funniest thing. We might break the internet.
Really cool. Like, they're really, they'd totally be down for that. Like, just they'd probably just heckle us the whole time.
That's the only appropriate way to do it. Exactly. And honestly, we should have Anders and Ken Bozak on to heckle the shit out of us too, because that's hilarious too.
Something really interesting a couple of weeks ago as well. Like, they actually brought in the guys from Blockchain Heroes. Yeah. And they had the first like crossover, battle event in history. I don't really know how it worked. I did you play? Were you involved in that?
No, but I had an interview and walkthrough with the game yesterday with that team, and how it works is that you log into a website with your cloud wallet, and if you have Blockchain Heroes, then you can choose to play with the Blockchain Heroes card. If you have Dark Country Heroes, then you can use those instead. And then you search for a game, and then you battle against other players with that type of card. So if I'm a Blockchain Hero guy, I can battle guys with Blockchain Heroes. And what I do is I choose 3 of them, and then I get one of them first, the first one I chose, and I have 5 different options for defend, 5 different options for attack, and then I choose 1 attack, 1 defend, and then the other person does the same thing, and then we attack and defend at the same time. So there's no first move advantage. And if I defend like my head and he attacks my head, then I will block his attack. But if I choose to defend my body and he attacks my head, then obviously he will do damage. So it's a little bit of luck. It's a little bit of understanding how that other person usually plays. Exactly. It's rock, paper, scissors here as well, but with NFTs. And for the heroes, they have different stats on them, so it's easy to know which one has more damage and things like that. And I did it live yesterday, so if you just go to I guess it's the latest video, there will be a showcase, and in the timeline you can actually just find, I will actually also showcase the Dark Country game, and I will play Danny, and the first game I win, the second game he cheats.
All right, fair enough.
I kind of feel like all relationship disputes should be settled like this,
Yeah, exactly. Wars are extremely inefficient. I think 5-dimensional rock, paper, scissors between the different countries' NFT sets with a set amount of mana and good refereeing should just be how all human conflict is resolved. The only problem is I could never get into an argument with Anders because the motherfucker will beat me. Everyone knows it. He's going to come in number 1. I'm going to come in number 2. God damn it.
I have a few hours of gameplay in a lot of different games, and that is an advantage for sure. I used to play StarCraft 2 in a kind of high level, and if you don't know that game, or if any of you don't know, what you do is you build a game base, you farm minerals, and then you build an army and attack the other guys. Everything is going on at the same time. You have to do attacks on one part of the map and build on a second part of the map at the same time. And if you don't, you will be at a disadvantage. So if you want to be good at that, you have to do a lot of things at the same time and remember a lot of things. And it's a ton of fun. And if you're bad at that, you have no chance of winning against a good player. And that I
got just good enough at StarCraft to realize how freaking good the real good players were.
Yeah.
right? Like I was playing StarCraft and StarCraft 2 like on LANs, 20 years ago or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And that was fun, and I was like really, really good at beating the 5 other nerds who played it in the Arctic, right? I thought I was really cool. I'm not. It's like watching people practice build orders and really like get into the practicing over and over and over again has been really fun. And like esports is gonna eat the world, man. Like they're building stadiums for it now. That's I think the underlying thing about how exciting all this stuff is whether it's music or gaming or NFTs or what have you, is that all of it is starting to get integrated together, right? Like the sort of iconic thing, like to explain NFTs to normies these days, I have them go watch Ready Player One, and then like, hey, that key that he got, that's a really, really rare NFT. That's all it is, right? And that's where all this stuff is headed, and we really are at the beginning. Like you can tell, like this is the beginning when we're just starting to explore the space. And 10 years from now, it's like we said, it's going to hit 315 million this year. It's going to be 3 billion in 10 years minimum, if not 10 times that.
I mean, if we get games, if we just take one tournament of Dota 2, that is a game where you have 5 players playing against 5 other players. One tournament has over $30 million in prize money.
That's crazy pants.
That's one tournament in one game, and that is not even the game that has most viewership. That is League of Legends and Fortnite probably up there as well. Yeah, but those tournaments are crazy in the amount of prize money.
Indeed.
Yeah, I was today and I saw a poster for an esports event that was sponsored by a national university here. Like, that's crazy. It's like national universities are sponsoring esporting events. I never thought I would have even been in a world that does that kind of shit.
Esport is a career now, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be nuts. All right, guys. Is there anything else, Anders, that you want to leave us with? Anything going on this week you want to let our people know about?
I think no. The early ticket for Dark Country, we have the Alien World sale. People can still get Uplift.Art NFTs. People can still get Tribal Book NFTs. All of these are on the Wax blockchain. What I saw on Twitter yesterday, which is kind of funny, is that someone sold, I don't know if you call that sell, he exited all money from his 401k and from his personal pension fund. I don't know what that is called in the US. Anyway, he took all his savings and put it 100% into Bitcoin. So we are getting close to some kind of bull run. If we are not already there, people are believers.
We're there.
100% of your savings and put it all in Bitcoin. This is not
100%.
Disagreed. This is financial advice. Buy Bitcoin.
Like maybe 90%, but not 100%.
Yeah, no, you're right. Don't take advice from me anyway. I'm ridiculous. But no, looking historically, right? We're at the point last cycle where it was almost back at 1,000. That's all. That's the only place we're at, right? So when people are like, oh my god, it's a bull run, like some clown who, he's actually not a clown, he's like a nice person, but it's like, oh dude, do I short Bitcoin here? Like, yeah, only if you want to shoot yourself in the face with a shotgun. Like, shorting here is like shorting when it was at 900, almost crossing 1,000, headed to 20,000. Right? Like, that's the time that we're at right now, is where we're basically just trying to take all-time highs, which is great. That's awesome. Everything's really, really exciting. We're not going to hit, the next all-time high for at least 12 months, probably 18.
And we live in a bubble, and if you're shorting Bitcoin right now, you're pretty much, M Blues meme with his head in the bubble and someone holding him on the moon saying, "Don't let me go."
And again, don't get me wrong. There's short-time traders that, because the historical analysis of the last season, it went up to all-time highs and it came down 30% or whatever, right? So yeah, like if you're really, really good at it and you actually know how to trade, and believe me, if you're just trading some altcoins, you fucking don't know how to trade, right? Yeah. Unless you're in 20 alt positions minimum, you have no fucking clue what you're doing. Just, I want to throw that out there as someone who kind of sort of knows what he's doing as far as the risk analysis is concerned. Chances are you don't know how to trade. But there are people that really, really do, and they'll short it, based on some good TA or whatever, and they'll maybe make 20% or whatever, and they might leverage it, and they might start bragging about it or whatever. That's how people lose money in a bull market. It's infuriating. Yeah. Buy some Bitcoin and walk the fuck away for 5 years, and you're going to make some money.
Yeah, but a couple of things, right? These people who are shorting it at this time, they don't go to sleep. They don't short it and then go to sleep.
Yeah, well, or they set it. It's set and forget trades, right? Like you have stops in place. You have like all the technical things that that you need to do to trade safely and intelligently, right? Like there is a possibility for an edge here, but it's not that big. And most people, 90% of people who think they're traders will fuck this up and lose money in a bull market. Which again, that's why I start swearing way more in this, because I've seen so many people lose money and they didn't have to, right? This is categorically financial advice. If you look at the historical capacity for Bitcoin to increase in value, the only thing you need to do is buy some and walk the fuck away. Period. Right? Like that's the way that it works year over year over year.
Can we use bad curse words in this show?
I fucking hope so. Otherwise, I'm going to get canceled.
Okay,
so hard.
What do you guys think about the dickening happening in 42 days?
The
The
what?
McAfee. Yeah.
Oh, the
If you don't know
dickening.
about it, dickening.com. You can find information.
Oh no, I didn't know
People they are preparing like gingerbreads to eat in case he. Yeah, well, there's a lot of fun things going on.
The
So in 42
dickening.com is real.
Yes,
Oh,
dickening.com.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dickening.
Isn't he locked up though? Right? He's still behind bars, right?
No, I don't think so.
Did he get out?
He always gets out.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't realize that. I heard when he got put in, but I never heard when he.
When did you hear that?
Took a weird turn. Anyway,
The dickening. I love that. That's freaking brilliant. That poor guy. I mean, I think just cook it up next to a sausage.
No, he's in prison right now. It's correct.
Is he actually in prison right now? Oh.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
seems
he
so.
got
But he's
arrested
tweeting from it.
a month
Yeah.
ago off the coast of Spain or something. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have like an extradition treaty or something with the U.S. So I don't know what happened. Never heard what happened.
I mean, he's an interesting dude. I'll give him that.
I mean, if we could ever have him on the show, let's do it, because like he's the only person I know that's going to swear more than both of us combined.
All right. I mean, hey, I'm open to that. Anybody who could swear like a sailor is at least going to be interesting.
But just to go back, one more thing that I wanted to say about what you were talking about earlier. What's crazy about this bull run is no one's talking about it. Like, it's crazy to me that no one's talking about wax. But
Here's
it's
the thing.
more crazy to me that
not
no
crazy.
one's talking about this bull run. Like,
It's
no,
not
But
crazy.
it started.
Listen, it isn't crazy yet. It's not crazy. When Bitcoin was at $900, headed it back up to 1,000. You know how many people were talking about Bitcoin? No one,
yeah.
because it wasn't interesting yet, right? When
But
it was like, wait a minute, did it just go from 1,000 to 5,000? Then the news starts. Oh, there's no way it'll ever hit 10,000. There's no way it'll ever hit 10,000. When it hits 30,000, and people are like, wait a minute, the paradigm has been broken from the last cycle. Then the news is going to start, and everyone's.
But
gonna
the
say
layer one news started pretty much yesterday. If you just Google Bitcoin, you will see from one day
it's
ago there
started
will
to
be
bump.
articles on
Yeah.
all different news channels.
and
So
there's
it's starting,
gonna
but
be-
people don't care right now.
You're right. When the news starts being like, there's no way it'll hit 100,000. There's no way it'll hit 100,000. We're watching that all last cycle. There's no way it'll hit 10,000. That's crazy. And then it hit 10,000 and smashed right through it like it was stopped. Like the historical, the cyclical nature of this, even down to a community level, is shocking to me. If you go
Okay,
back and look at the news when it was at 900 last time, getting back to all-time highs, it was pretty similar.
Can I just tell you what's pissed me off this week? Like
Yes.
this legitimately like pissed me off. Like, so there was a call by some news agency in the States. They went on and they said that they're projecting Bitcoin to hit $318,000 by 2021.
I think it was like Citigroup or something like that. Like
Yeah,
it was a bank.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was banks. So like are banks like by default financial advisors? Like is that
Anyone on it, like the whole like don't be financial advisors thing. This is why I just say this is financial advice, because it's not fucking true. Like the whole
no, this is what
I'm
I
a
don't
guy
get.
talking on the internet, right?
Why can't we say it, but they can say it?
We
Like,
can. We absolutely can.
but
And
like I mean,
the
like,
fact that the SEC has us so scared that we don't even want to project the possible price of Bitcoin is hilarious.
But
They're
I just-
absolutely allowed to do it, and so are we.
I just want to say, find me a bank that gives good financial advice. Like just
Yeah.
But the problem there is that those that will advise you are not the people that make the money. It's those that
that's a
take your
good
money.
point, actually.
So you
Right.
need
Yeah,
to get
exactly.
like, yeah. They are called a financial broker for a meaning, you know.
Yeah, the
They
second
make you
that they
broker.
had the ability to start, holding and selling Bitcoin positions, that's when it all changed. Then it was all predictable, right? I mean, they're gonna have the same kind of feedback about the rest of the markets as they always have, and now they're allowed to sell their clients' exposure to Bitcoin, and suddenly they have an opinion. It's not shocking in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
But what's really fun is I think they're right.
well, no, they're not.
No.
They're finally not clueless.
Well, no, I think about this one call. I mean, everything else they suck, but like the yeah, about Bitcoin potentially going to about 300 or 312. That's actually a good extrapolation of past historical analysis. And again, for the record, it could be plus or minus a million. I don't fucking know, right? But it's interesting anyway.
I've already put in my sell orders for 317K.
Oh, did you really?
No.
Dude, you should. That'd be hilarious. Anyway, I feel like you just threatened me with a good time. All right, guys, I got to run, but thank you so much for hanging out this morning. Anders, I fucking love you. I'm always gonna bust your balls about being better than me because you are. Just
we have to challenge each other, more new things.
Like someday, so like it's probably gonna be like 5 years from now. We do some drop and like I accidentally click something 5 milliseconds before you do, or I buy a giant supercomputer that's like closer to the internet or something. Anyway, someday I'll be first. And
you do know that we actually signed the blocks for Wax, so I could actually I don't do that but technically I could push my blocks when my transactions faster, but I won't do that, and I will never do that. So technically, it's possible.
This actually makes me feel a lot better, dude. Like the whole idea, like you're sitting right next to the block producer, like there's a server right next to you, and you're like,
there is a server on my floor, but it's because I need to do maintenance on it. But they are not hosted in my home. I'm afraid.
Okay. No, that does, dude. I love this rivalry anyway. Everything about it makes me happy. So, Anders, thank you so much for joining us. Jimmy, thanks for doing this with me every week. It makes my Thursday mornings highly entertaining.
Yeah, my Thursday evenings got multitudes better.
There you go.
Game on.
I think we should play out with the music video. What do you guys think?
Done.
Sounds awesome, and thanks for having me on. And everything was fun.
Awesome.
Thank you for coming, Anders. It was a blast, man.
All right, guys. Here comes the goods. As soon as I can find the button, boom, doink. All right, guys. Have a good one. Feel free to check out. We're gonna play this out. If you haven't gotten your crates at Uplift.Art yet, go do it. Or I think we still have a banner up at Atomic Hub as well. And if you get lucky, you're gonna get a music video of this.
Was a suckling, hollow hands. This man stronger than the average man. I'm not the bubble on the pen. I'm not the bubble on the pen. I'm not the bubble on the pen. I'm not the bubble. I'm not the bubble. Day the markets take another day to restart and refuel this moon boy ship. My dreams may be futile, but it's you say, well, my dreams may be futile, but Bitcoin bull keeps charging away. Oh, you see, my Bitcoin bull keeps charging away. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not the bubble. 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 I'm not the bubble, 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 I'm not the bubble,
Yep. That's it. We're still live. I don't know. Do you want to say hi? You want to say goodbye? You want to anything? Got anything to share there? Jimmy D. Scared of that. You're still muted there, home slice. Home slice is muted.
I think that's I took out your role. I think that's a pretty good place to end right there on the Uplift.Art headquarters. I don't know. I like that.
Yeah, I like it.
But yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back next week at the same
or 9, the normal time.
The normal time, and we'll go over the USIO headlines and have another guest.
We even know who that guest is.
Yes, we might.
Maybe we can rope. Maybe we can get Ken up this early in the morning. It's unlikely. I could ask him.
We have some ideas. I have some ideas.
Yeah, it's not like there isn't anything going on. We could totally get somebody. You know what? I'd really like to talk to anybody working with wrapped Bitcoin, considering Bitcoin is the sort of the beast in the room right now. I've seen
actually that's kind of funny because I was thinking about making that joke before. Like when we were doing our whole financial advice thing. I was going to say don't buy Bitcoin unless you're going to buy it on the USIO.
Right. Buy that shit wrapped. It's fast, cheap, and cool.
Yeah, well, that's hell. Why don't we go for another 10 minutes? Screw it.
I actually can't. So whatever you got going on, write that shit down, throw it in the ESIO weekly update channel on Chirp, and we can get into it next week if that's cool.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's awesome. Do it. But yeah, let's chat next week about this whole wrap Bitcoin thing because it's something I'm really excited about too. Yeah,
me too. And we gotta get somebody from somebody else from Vigor in to come chat as well again because I love that project. Anyway, dude, Jimmy, love you, man. Thanks for doing this with me. Again, if you haven't gotten your crates at Uplift.Art yet, go do that. Go check out the music video. Anybody who buys any crates, I am pretty convinced at some point you're going to get an NFT that gives you access to an actual MP3 of what is going to be the Bitcoin anthem for this bull cycle. So get in where you fit in, and we'll see you guys next week.